Okay, welcome back to another VB.NET tutorial about developing a simplified accounting system. So in the previous video we created the code that will help us recalculate and modify receipt, and we finished everything. However, there are a number of things that we did wrong. It's not wrong, but we are not supposed to do. Now, these are, well, actually, if you go to the code of the user interface, you will find that we are executing SQL statements. And basically, we want SQL statement to be executed only in the database project. Okay, so we are gonna move this part into the receipts class, and we will add two methods, one for recalculating, replacing a receipt, and one for inserting a receipt and recalculating things. Okay, so that the database code is completely separated from the user interface code. Okay, which will help us debugging later on. Okay, for this small project it's okay, but we are not supposed to mix the two together. This is the idea. So now let's go to this code. I'm going to do this. So public shared function, and we want it to be insert receipt and recalculate. Okay, so we are inserting a new receipt and recalculating. So here db as database manager class, followed by we want to pass an RCP as receipts class, and we have by reference error message, which is a string, and we want to pass a flag for committing changes, and this function returns a true false. True if everything goes well, false if there's a problem, as usual. Now this is a try catch block, and if there is any problem we will return this. Okay, so now if there's any problem we return this here, false here. Okay, now what are we going to do next is apply the code. So if not RCP insert into database db followed by error message followed by false, then through new exception error message, and we are throwing an exception. The control goes back here and everything goes well. If the insertion process is successful, if not, account class recalculate receipts, passing the database object and recalculating things from the date of that receipt. Okay, if there's a problem with that, we threw a new exception or error message. Okay, this is the code, this is the whole code. Now if commit, then db.commit, and finally we need to return true. That's it, very straightforward. Okay, this function is used to insert a new receipt and recalculate the accounts statements, okay, and balances actually. Okay, so this is the first one. For the second one, which will replace a receipt, let me go back here. Now instead of insert receipt, I'm gonna say replace receipt and recalculate. So instead of this is gonna be old RCP, and this one instead will be the new RCP. Okay, so now we are going to replace an existing receipt. Okay, so before we do anything, we need to remove the old receipts. To do that, db.execute.sql delete from receipts where receipt id equals old receipt.id. receipt id. There you go. So this way we are removing the old receipt and then we are inserting the new receipt. Now there is a problem here. Well, we need to know which is the minimum date, okay, to pass for the recalculation receipt method. So dimension min date as string equals old receipt dot receipt date. Now if min date is greater than new RCP dot date, then min date equal new RCP receipt date. Okay, so this part will get me the minimum date and I pass this one here, min date, and that's it. This is the whole code that we need in order to shield the user interface from communicating with the database directly and making transactions in the user interface. So here use to replace a receipt and recalculate things. Okay, now this looks fine. Now we need to apply this. So let's go to the add. Let's go to where our code is. It's here. Now if edit, then if not, receipt class dot replace. If we are editing, then we need to pass the database object. There's going to be old receipt and we need to pass the new one, which is RCP followed by error message followed by true. Then basically we are gonna throw new exception error message. There you go. Otherwise okay, else if not receipt class dot insert receipt and recalculate db RCP error message true, then throw new exception error message. There you go. We don't need these parts, we don't need the min date, right? So this is the whole thing. All this need to be removed. So now the code is this big. You can see now this is totally shielded. You don't know the details how things are happening. You just pass parameter and that's it. And this is what the code should look like when you are working with a library. And yeah, so we finished the update for this one. Let's go to draw money. Drawing money, this is going to be something very similar. So we need to get rid of these guys and replace them with this. Okay, now this is done, and the last one we need to come here and paste the code, and we save, we run, and now let us have a log. So this is admin123 login. Okay, so we have I made a few changes by adding few receipts. That's fine, no problem. But anyway, so I have 610 with 60. Let's go to receipts, refresh them. So we have one with 500. I will edit that and make it 700, and we say update. So we need to find that is 800 indeed. That's accurate. Let me go to this one. This is what we are drawing 30 from the account test, right? Yeah, drawing 30. So we are editing this. Instead of drawing 30, we will draw 500. Update things here. We go and see. Okay, that's fine, that's accurate. And yeah, we can actually move things and so on. So I think all is fine. Let me add a draw. This is going to be number 5, and let me say test. The amount is 200, right? There's 300 something. Yeah, so add. Okay, so we are drawing 200. Let me see, what do we have? 140. So I think all is fine, right? So we have 700 deposited with 100. This is 800, right? We draw this one, so remaining 300. We move 60, so we have 240. We remove, 240, 340 now, and we draw the 200, 140. So the calculation is accurate, all's fine. So now we updated the code and all looks wonderful, all looks fine. So now there's something else I want to address. When we are working with namespace, you can see that the lib namespace is between 2 square brackets. Well, actually I tried to make the tutorial before now, and this name, the lib part seems to be reserved, and because of that it's causing issues. So what are we gonna do? We are gonna rename things in order to get rid of problems. So right click here, I will rename this. I'll make this ACC lib. So this is ACC lib, fine. And right click here, and I'm gonna rename it to be ACC lib. So far so good, right? But if you have a look here, you still have the old namespace. Now this is because this is the name of the project, not the name of the namespace. But the namespace, when you create a new project, equals to the name of the project itself. So that does change things a little bit. Go to properties, go to the application, and you will see the namespace there, right? The root namespace and the assembly. So there's going to be ACC, oops, caps lock ACC, and this one need to be ACC as well, right? So let me save this, and this is going to trigger a huge amount of errors, and we are going to fix these very quickly. Let me show you in a second. And we save things here. Now let me close all these forms. So if you go, you see now lib.db. So these namespaces are not being recognized anymore. And basically all we have to do is to find and replace. In the whole solution, we need to search for lib dot and replace it with acc lib. Okay. So let me find the first one. I'm gonna replace it, but I want to see where these changes are. So, oh, wait a second, I forgot the dot. Right, so now let me undo, right? So, yeah, so there's gonna be acc lib dot. I forgot the dot here. So let me go to the first occurrence and fix that. Fixed. This one's fine. Okay. Now these are fine. Fixing things. I want to make sure that nothing get changed by accident. I think replace all should work well, but you know, don't want to take any chances. Come on. Again. Oh, 16 errors. We are almost finished with that, I suppose. Yeah. Okay. And that's it. Okay, so we finished all these errors. Now, if we run the project, all works well. Good for us. Now, since we finished this one, we need to go to the next step. Okay, next step, where's that? Well, go to the test project and open the development steps. Yes, generate report for account statement, right? So this is one important thing to do. Now we need basically a SQL statement that will get us or generate the account statement for us. So how do we do that? Okay, so let's go to the Server Explorer over here. Yeah, let us go open the tables. That's fine so far. Right click here, I'm gonna say new query. Now let us build things a little bit at a time. So here we have select star from accounts statement, right? And now we run. What do we get? We get this thing that we cannot understand. We have account ID and receipt ID, blah blah blah, right? And there is the balance change, okay, etc etc, right? Yeah, so this is not very, clear. We are not sure what is happening in this one exactly. All right, and also there's something else, the balance change. Yeah, maybe this need to be, a positive negative value here, because I want to see that, this is a draw of 700. I see here this is, negative value, so maybe I'll update things before continuing this one. So let us go here. Let's go to account statement. Where is that? There's the insert. Oh, it's a mistake. This is my mistake. Where is the receipts? Where is the normal insert method, not the recalculate? This is the normal insert method. Insert into receipts. Yeah, where's the account statement? Source statement. Yeah, so this is the amount. So the one you are drawing from, this value need to be negative, okay? And the one you are depositing into, this need to be positive, right? So this is very simple change, but the values right now are not accurate. So what do? Well, very simple. We go to the very first receipt, update it, and that's it. So admin 123. Let's go to receipts. This is the oldest receipt ever. So edit and update. Fine. Let me show you now. So now if we run this statement, you can see this is minus 700. This is 700 and so on. So now the values in the account statement table is now accurate, right? Or a little bit more clear, let's say. So now what's the problem here? We only see account ID. We cannot see which account we are referencing. So we are gonna use accounts and account statement. So select star from account statement, where accounts dot account ID equals accounts statement dot account ID, and we run this now. We end up with something that is a little bit large. So we don't need all these fields, we want few of them, and we need the following. We need accounts dot account ID. Okay, this is the first one. Let me write the statement somewhat like that. Okay, and we have accounts account holder name. Now the reason I use the accounts table name here in order not to have ambiguity. Okay, so we need the account holder name, and we want also what we want, the ID probably. This is the transaction ID, and we want, let me see, receipt ID probably as well. So let me add receipt ID. That's fine. Also, what do we have? We have receipt date. That is wonderful. And we need the old balance, and we need balance change, and we need the new balance. Okay, and now we just run this, we end up with something like this. Okay, so now let me add another condition just to show you how the statement looks like. And account holder name equals, let's say I want to see what is the account statement for test, and I just run this, and this is the account statement for test. There was a zero, a deposit of 700 getting resulting in 700, right? And there is 700 adding 100 resulting in 800, 800 we drew 500, and so on. So these information are nice. These will be hidden later on, but there's something important. We know the date, but we don't know which receipt caused the problem or caused the transaction to happen. So we will add receipts here, right? So I will update the condition here as well. So here we have accounts statement dot receipt ID equals receipts dot receipt ID, and okay, yeah, so let me run. Oops, there is a problem somewhere in the statement. Ambiguous name, receipt ID. Oh, so the receipt ID here is not obvious, so I'm gonna use the receipts table this time. Okay, and now we run this again. Oh, and the receipt date, receipts dot receipt date. Okay, and we run this. Okay, so far no, this is still the same table, but now we can do the following. After the receipt date, or yeah, we could just say receipts dot receipt number. This is the receipt number that the user entered. So now we have, if you look now here, you see this is the account name, this is the date, this is the receipt number, old balance, and so on. And then receipt number 2, with receipt number 2 we drew 500, receipt number 3 we drew 60, and so on. So as you can see now, this is very straightforward, this is very easy. Okay, and we can filter directly using the account holder name or the ID here or whatever field. Okay, so we are gonna keep this one in mind, and we will check the fields. We have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, so we have 9 fields. We can make a report based on these. So let us create the report. Now, in order to create a report, there are a number of things that you need to prepare. First, you need to create a data set. Second, you create a data table. Third, you need to fill the data table. Fourth, you need to create a report definition. Also, you need to, after creating the report definition, you need to create a form, place the report viewer, make it point to the report definition, and then you show the form. Now, it seems a little bit confusing, but it's easy. Let me show you. So let us close these guys, and yeah, let me see. So these are the modules and these are the forms. So now I'm gonna add a separate folder just to make things a little bit organized. It's gonna be reports. Okay, so first I'm gonna create the data set. So add a new item, go to data, this data set. There's going to be DS. Let's say reporting DS for reporting data set, and add. This is nice. Let's go to the toolbox and we drag and drop one here. So I'm calling this account statement data table. Okay, a long name, you could call it whatever you want, no problem there. Let me move this one to be next to this one. So we have the ID, account ID, receipt ID, add column, this is gonna be ID, add column, account ID, add column, receipt ID. You don't have to add these IDs since they are invisible, but whatever, I'm just adding them just to show you. Account holder name, let me add this one. There's gonna be account holder name, and you could make these names as A, B, C, whatever, but having the accurate name helps you later on to remember things. We have receipt date, receipt number, we have receipt date, we have also receipt number. What also do we have? Receipt date, receipt number, old balance, balance change, new balance, old balance, balance change, new balance. And I think these are all the fields, right? So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, so this should be 9. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, now if you click on this this field, you could go to the data type. It is assuming it's a string, basically it's a number. We could leave these the way they are except for these guys. These are numbers, these are used to display money, so we'll use decimal for them. Okay, and now we are finished with designing our data set. So I'm gonna save things here. Oops, not the SQL, I just saved this one. And now I will just build things here. Now the reason I'm building is that in order for Visual Studio to identify this data table later on, because now I'm going to create a report. So right click, add, and this is going to be new item. Now I'm going to go to reporting and I'll use a report wizard. So here this is going to be account statement report. Okay, account statement report, I will add that. Okay, the wizard starts. So the name of the database instance, dataset instance, I'll call it DS. The definition is reporting DS, and this is the table I'm accessing. You go there, we will get all these fields here. Now you will find that the numbers, it placed a sum in front of the numbers. We remove that. We don't want sum, we want the values alone. Okay, so there's no sum. If you have a sum or something, you just go and just select the same function placed before the name of the field, and it will go. So you will only have the name of the field. We go next. Okay, the layout, I want this layout, nothing more. Go next again. This is the theme, and we finish. Now, number of things. I don't want the ID. No, I don't want the ID or the receipt ID. Okay, these guys deleted. Okay, wonderful. Now I will resize this to be the width here. Okay, right click here, view ruler, just in case. Also add page header. Now I will click inside this one, click these guys. The font, I want it to be Times New Roman. This is bold, right? And that's it. Okay, so there's going to be account. Okay, date, receipt number. Okay, I'm changing the first one, which has no 3 lines, right? So this is just labels. So old balance, this is going to be change, this is a new balance. Okay, this depends basically on your design or whatever. So let me go to toolbox, let me add a label for account statement. So there's going to be text box here. I'm going to call this account statement, and this is going to be something big, right? So go, oops, yeah, go back here and here, go up, actually, yeah. So let us put this in the center, push it down here. Okay, that's fine. And the report now, oops, the report design is completed. Okay, now we are gonna close this one as well. Now we will also now add a form. So we finished these things. Let's go and add the form. So add a new item. There's gonna be Windows form. I'm gonna call this account statement report form, and I will say add. Okay, now this one got placed here. The default location is in the center of the screen, and I'm gonna say account statement. There you go. Yeah, now what should we do also? I want to change the icon there. Go here, change the icon. Wonderful. Now in order to display a report, you need a report viewer. So report viewer, so this control is called the report viewer, and its job is to display a report. So I'm docking it and making sure that it uses the definition. So Visual Studio just plays these things for you, right? So if I double click this one, just refresh things, we can't do anything. But basically what we need to do, we need to go to the report ds and fill the data table inside that, okay, for all thing to work. Okay, so now let us work on that. Let's go to the lib, and let's go to account statement class. We are gonna create a function where we pass the ID of the account, and it will generate an account statement for us. Okay, so here there's gonna be public function. Actually it is gonna be shared function generate account statement. Okay, so what do we need here? We need to pass the DB object as database manager class, followed by ACC ID as long account ID, followed by byref error MSG as string, as resulting in a data table, right? So there's going to be data table. Fine. So we got this, very straightforward, very easy. As usual, we use try catch. Yeah. So if there's any error, since this one is returning an object which is data table, if there's a problem, we return nothing, indicating a problem. Okay, instead of you know, the standard thing. Okay, so now we will use the SQL statement. So dimension SQL as string equals. Okay, now let's go to our friend over here. I'll change this into counts.account ID equals. Now there's going to be a parameter, so add 0. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this. So double quotation, double quotes again. Okay. By the way, in Visual Studio 2015, the statements of for VB are already multi-line, so you don't need to do that. Okay, but since this one is 2013, I need to make sure that there is a VB new line for each end of statement and so on. VB new line and underscore. Yeah. So okay, Control C, V, 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 right, V, V, V. Okay, again and again. Okay, that's it. Let me remove this, and this is the statement. Control C. Let's go to the account statement class. This account statement here. We will just place things right here. Okay, so this is the account statement. Account statement. Okay, and now what we need to do is to get the data table, right? By the way, I forgot to say something important here, which is order by ID. That's it. Now dimension dt equal db dot get full data table. I need to pass the SQL statement followed by the parameter, which is ACCID, and finally return dt. That's it. Okay, helps us getting the account statement. Wonderful. So now that said, let us go to the next step. We have the code for getting the value of the report. We need to go to our main window. Okay, so this is the main window. Wonderful. Now the account, I will add a button here. Copy my friend, right click and paste. There you go. Okay, now this is gonna be account statement, right? Also, I want to change the tab order. So this is the first, this is the second, this is the third, and this is the fourth. Okay, and yeah, that's it. Okay, so yeah, I will do a few things here. I'll copy a little bit of the code. Okay, because I'm lazy, maybe rewriting all of it is faster, but anyway. So basically I'm checking if there's an account being selected. If not, well, there's a problem. Here I'm getting account ID, no problem. And next I need to open a connection to the database. So here, before that, what are we doing? We are creating a window which is the account statement report form, right? And then we are opening the connection to the database, and next, dimension dt equal account statement class, right, dot generate account statement, passing the db and the account ID, followed by error message, right, and checking if dt is nothing, then there's a problem. Okay, this is very easy. We just say could not generate a report. Generate report. That's it. Now, after we generate this, yeah, we don't need all the rest of this thing here. Okay, so now we generated the report. Now we also have the window. We need to pass the value into the table. So dimension I as integer for I equals 0 to dt dot rows dot count -1, and all we have to do is the following. We say what is the name of the window? It's obj dot reporting ds dot the data table, which is account statement data table. What's that? Let me see. This is a class. This is the member, right? Yeah. Dot rows dot add. And now I need to pass the values one by one, right? So this is gonna be tt dot rows of I dot item of 0. Okay, so since the result consists of 9 columns, so this is the first, this is the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth column. Okay, so let me make this a little bit more obvious. Okay, another one. Yeah. As you can see, I'm just filling this one manually. You could actually create a table adapter and pass the connection to that and use the connection of the adapter, but you know, I'm used to doing things this way. So my way is not the accurate way, but you know, it works. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And after that, we just need to say obj.showDialog. That's it. And we save the code. We run things here. And we say admin123 login. And this is the first account statement. And you can see the account statement right here. Okay, so this is the test account. This is the first date, was 0. Yeah. Oh, it seems that the number of columns is, you know, a little bit large. Let me show. Yeah. So the width of the report is not accurate. We need to fix that. Let's do that. Basically, the report worked and everything's fine. Let me go to the account statement report. Okay. Let me view the ruler. Yeah, so we might want to, you know, reduce the width of this one. Yeah, I can't remember what's the size of A4, but whatever. Yeah, let me click here and now I can resize this. And yeah, this is in inches, right? Don't know what the size of A4, but whatever, you know. The idea is simple. You just figure out what's the width of A4 and all works well. So click the account statement now and let me just see. Oh, still need to, you know, reduce the width a little bit. Sorry about that. Let me, okay, wait a second. Let's focus on this one. So I'm clicking away in order to find the size, page size. It's 8.5 inch by 11, so 8.5. So let's say there is a margin of 1 inch each side, so we need to make this at least about 6.5, right? Because 8.5 remove 2, this is about 6.5. Let me see. Oops. Okay. I have a problem with this mouse. Okay. Yeah. So make sure that this one's the same. And now, okay. So now this one 6.5. This should be the accurate size. This should appear as a single page. So let's run. Admin123 go login. And account statement. Okay, and go here. Yeah, it's working fine. You can see this is the account, this is the date, the receipt number, the old balance, the change, the new balance. It's working perfectly fine without any problem, right? Yeah, a few other changes on the design here. For these fields, let me say these fields, I want them to be in the center. Okay, and yeah, why not the date as well? Make it in the center, and the title here, put it in the center, maybe even the receipt number. Yeah, all in the center, no problem. Okay, so we just created an account statement. Now there are a few things here we want to do as well. We want to display this report as you know, in a print preview mode. So me.reportViewer1 dot display mode, I think it was equals, let me see, oh, print layout, wonderful. And oh, wait a second, there should be something. Wait a second. Oh, it was set display mode. Yes, set display mode, something like that. And me dot report viewer one dot zoom mode equals page width. Yeah. So just add these two guys. Let's see how the report looks like. So account statement here, much better. And let's select the second one. Fine and wonderful, right? So it's working perfectly fine without a problem. Okay, so we finished this one. And by the way, one of the cool features of this report viewer is that you could export this to Excel, PDF, or Microsoft Word. Let me show you. For example, let me say account statement, open this one, put that as Excel file, go to the desktop and save that. Okay, let me close the project. Let me, oops, double click this one. And you'll find that the account statement is available in Microsoft Excel. Yeah, right. So basically, if you want to, you know, make sure that your program is working, these are the changes on the account. So you just sum them, and you see that this is a 140, which is the final new balance. So all is working fine. Okay, just want to show you that it's a cool feature, cool thing to have. Okay. Yeah, so now that said, let us go to our progress and update things accordingly. Right click, close all documents. We made a few things, although it appears one thing here, but basically we refactored the code. We make things a little bit better. We added this report and we fixed a namespace problem. It's not a problem, but there's a bug in Visual Studio that would cause issues. Anyway, so yeah, hopefully we will work on the backup restore in the next videos. Okay, and yeah, I will be uploading the source code into the website, so if you are interested, you could download the source code from there. And that will be all for today. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Bye bye.